Hello, Swogomaniacs. This is Darren Killer here. Welcome after a long break. So we have a new piece of information coming from CG. So probably you all heard about the Executor event coming really shortly to holotapes. And oh boy, you don't really want to miss out on this ship. I tell you, that was my initial impression when they teased it, 1 week ago, that it will be dominating ship. You can tell it by just looking at the requirements, which we will go through in a moment. But as you can see, they're pushing this notification into the game right now. We are just after the very nice quality update that went live, I believe, yesterday. So why don't we actually go into the game and demonstrate this to you guys? Yeah, so this is basically the new journey guide view. So right now those journey / legends character are actually grouped into tiers, which actually makes sense. So we are starting the game from obviously the most accessible events like Emperor Palpatine or Yoda, then we can progress through something more advanced. Heck, you can even see the CG's recommendation for your GP and when you should be aiming for those events. This is really nice and handy feature for all the new players, because there is a ton of events, ton of tunes to be unlocked in this game, and right now it was very messy. You really had to follow some YouTubers guides on what to do, in which order, and now everything is gathered into one place. Nice layout, really well done CG. So as we can see in this tier 3 we have those common legends like CLS, Padme, or for example Bando. It's interesting to see Bando here. By far, probably the most useless legendary character in the game. But with the release of Executor, it can actually change quite a bit, because his ship will be a very important component of new Executor fleet. But we will get there very soon. So let me quickly walk you through those UI changes. So we see that with the progression of GP, you are supposed to participate in all of those events, which obviously makes sense. So the last final tier 5, this is actually where the fun begins. So we all know how irritating the Malak event was. Oh man, I really do not want to replay this anytime further. But not really planning to use any alt account in the future. I just don't have time for this. Gas event, this was a bummer, really very hard event, and I think that with the gas, with the latest nerf to the characters, or I think the boost that gas will receive, this event will be even harder. So famous Cash on Camino, very interesting. Jedi Knight look, this was actually pretty accessible event, one of the best if you ask me. Very good cinematics, lots of cool stuff from the old trilogy movies. And now we have within the same tier, we have our first ship, our fleet legendary event, which I just targeted to, as one in progress. And let's have a look into those prerequisites. They've been updated some time ago. So those requirements, they are pretty steep. We all knew that from the beginning, because they at the very first post they announced Executor some time ago. They already said, and let me go back to the forums for this. So there was this road ahead for July, and yeah, straight away they told us that we will need 2 Relic 8 characters to unlock this ship. This is really a steep requirement, and this is more like a Galactic Legend level of requirements, if you ask me. So I knew that this ship will be good, and from that point I was just hoarding all the gear, relic mats, just to see where it goes, really. And yeah, from the kit reveal, it really seems that this will be a dominant ship, and you need to get it as soon as you can if you don't want to be behind in Fleet Arena, also in GAC, to some degree even Territory Wars. So all those game modes will be pretty much affected, because we need to use those ships everywhere right now, right? So you don't really want to miss out on this. And my advice would be I know that going for Lord Vader is tempting, or even for Master Kenobi if you still, like me, if you haven't unlocked him, but I think that you should actually go for this new fleet first, because it will be a meta. It will be a new meta, and we all know that. So the other requirements, aside from Admiral Piet and Boba Fett at Relic 8, this is really steep. But we also do have Dengar, IG-88 at Relic 5. This is also a heavy investment, given you need to also take into consideration that so far Dengar actually doesn't have any ship in the game, so I would be actually much more comfortable in like bringing Dengar to R5 should he actually has the ship to be used, right? But I have a feeling that they will be adding Punishing One really soon, just to, you know, kind of supplement this bounty hunter fleet, because there are not so much bounty hunter ships in the game as of now. IG-88, it's actually, you know, his ship is actually pretty solid, so it will be a good investment anyway. Bosk is no-brainer, one of the best bounty hunter leaders. This Imperial TIE fighter pilot is actually something that it's a bit of a stretch, but I'll take it. This is the only like odd one in the mix. There are some sort of synergies between the Executor and the Empire fleet, but let's tell it straight away. It's meant to be a capital ship for bounty hunter, and you will see this from the kit reveal basically. And other than that, in order to even open this event, access this event, and this will be a Fleet Mastery event, returning back probably each month, like in case of Executor Requirements or, you know, Home One, which is a bit odd to me. I would rather see this as a like full legendary event that can be accessed from day one if you can basically meet those requirements. But now CG is making this really hard for us. Even if you complete all of those prerequisites, then you will just need to grind it out, you know, by doing this event each month. There will be an easy way to speed it up with crystal refreshes, as we know for all of those Fleet Mastery events, but oh god, this will be a tough investment, you know. I believe it costs around 1000 crystals for one refresh, and this event gives, I can't really remember whether it was like 10 or probably 15 shards for an event, so it is a long way to unlock this ship at 4 or, you know, or 5 stars, or I can't even think of how long it's gonna take to unlock the full 7-star Executor. But so this is the first thing, the Executor, and this is definitely something that I will be targeting to unlock really soon, or, you know, as a first priority. Obviously, we had those guild journeys. It's actually good that they separated this, because it's completely different bunch of tunes, access from the TB, from raids, yeah, or Raid Han, Treya, old Jedi Kenobi on those TB tunes. But we also have this tier for Galactic Legends, and let's actually have a look into updated Lord Vader requirements, because they also released the second batch of requirements for him, and oh boy, we all knew that this will be tough. To be true, to be fair, the Jedi Master Kenobi requirements were not so bad. If you think about, you know, the overall relics level, you know, the tunes required, there's been a lot of pitiful, like, useless Jedis, meaning Jedi, you know, Qui-Gon Jinn, Ayla Secura, or if I remember correctly, there was one more Jedi that I can't even think of it right now, but all in all, it was not bad. There were pretty good tunes like, you know, Jango Fett, Wat Tambor, General Grievous in there. And here, what I can see from the very beginning, they are pushing all of those marquee characters. So this is actually kind of odd, because, you know, if you think about this Galactic Legend events, it is supposed to be, you know, the set of characters, you know, those requirements should be characters that somehow are connected to Lord Vader on his, you know, transition from Jedi Knight Anakin to Lord Vader. I can't really think of, you know, the Bad Batch being a very important component in this process. They were somehow related. I don't know if they ever like met in the galaxy. There's been like this Bad Batch TV series is actually happening just after the Clone Wars, so it's kind of odd, but I understand they need to push those marquee characters to earn some more money. So obviously we knew from the first round of requirements that Hunter, Tech and Wrecker will be required. In addition, we have this Tusken Raided that people are really like making fun out of this, but this actually makes sense because Tuskens were this scene of Tusken slaughter, it's actually kind of iconic, so I can get it. Also, Padma Amidala was probably one of the safest bet in terms of characters that will be required for this journey or this Galactic Legends. It actually sucks that we need to bring her to Relic 8 because she's actually not a character that benefits a lot from high relics. Mine Padma is at R5 and she has she's perfectly fine with the amount of health and protection that she's gaining. But recently they released the second batch of requirement, and I think that this actually caught a lot of people off guard. So Embo at Relic 5, I think that nobody really expected that. Like the two most oddball characters within this group is actually Embo, and look at this Zam Wessel at Relic 7. And this is a stretch. I know that there's been this scene in the beginning of Attack of the Clones when they are actually chasing Zam, but she was not really that important in his transformation. So this is more like CG that just identified that not many of us have Zam relicked, which makes sense because she's not a part of this core bounty hunter team. The same story with Embo, I believe. These are more like luxury characters. I always wanted to bring Embo to relics, so I'm not really complaining too much, but let's be honest, it's not a very popular tune. You are not really seeing relic Embo really often, unless you are like fighting with whales in the GAC, then there is this possibility, but majority of user base, they don't really invest it into Embo and Zam, and this is precisely why they're required for this Lord Vader Galactic Legend event. And when it comes to the old Echo 501st and Echo from Bad Batch, I'm okay with the old Echo being added to the mix because there's been a lot of interactions between Anakin and old Echo, but Echo from the Bad Batch, he's completely like nothing to do with Anakin, really, because his entire story starts when he's kind of rescued by other Bad Batch members in first season of the Bad Batch TV series, and he has like absolutely no connection with Anakin because at this time the Anakin is gone and we already have Darth Vader, so this doesn't make any sense at all, but it makes a ton of sense from the revenue perspective because this is a fourth marquee character that it's required to be relicked up, so people will be rushing to do so, and there's a lot of money that CG will get out of this. Count Dooku is the first overlap. We've been expecting either Count Dooku or Darth Sidious as a part of his requirements, but oh boy, this is Relic 8 Count Dooku. It was required to have R6 Count Dooku, if I remember correctly, for Sith Eternal Emperor. So this is actually a reasonable step just to up the game a little bit to increase those requirements. So they are calling out for Relic 8 Count Dooku, who is actually pretty useful character, but let's be straight, nobody would do it, would relic him up to Relic 8 if he was not required, because he's just a OKB great character, and there are plenty of other tunes that you would like to bring to Relic 8. So with this amount of prerequisites that they released so far, we already know that he will require at least 3, possibly 8 R8s, because we already have Padma Amidala, we have Count Dooku, and we already had the sneak peek from third round of requirements that gas will be included. So we already have 3 of them. My bet is that in total we'll have 4 R8s, and they gotta be they need to know what they are doing right now, because they are pushing us really hard to put those precious relic mats. I believe that with the addition of relic 9 there will be more possibilities to get R8 materials, but if not, then this is a scam, guys. This is just unacceptable, but we'll see about that. And yeah, just looking at those Lord Vader and Executor requirements, my recommendation, and let me just actually show you what am I up to right now. There's a lot of packs that we don't really want. I just decided straight away, because I'm nowhere near to, you know, to complete my bad batch. They are all like gear 8 or gear 9. I'm actually doing a good progress with farming them. So all of them, I believe, yeah, are 6-star at the moment. Obviously, farming them free to play only. I think I bought their initial packs for $10. So I'm not that far away from 7-star for all of them, but the gear is another story. They require a lot of Kairos, if I remember correctly, like hundreds of them. So it will be a really tough farm, and I'm gonna do it the slow mode. And in the meantime, what I'm trying to do, obviously I won't be ready for the first instance of this Executor event, but I really want to like relic up my bounty hunters. So I'm close to like relicking my Dengar. It's just like one piece away of this shit. So probably even today I'll have a relic Dengar. Then I'm planning to relic up the IG-88 and TIE Fighter pilot. Obviously it is a stretch, but we need to do it. And obviously 2 more relic 8 characters. It's Boba Fett. So I already invested into Boba quite a lot. He's sitting at R5, but to get him to R8, oh man, it is a long way. It's, I'm kind of in a constant shortage of those relic mats. So I will try to get Boba up to speed as soon as I can. Same story with Imperial Troopers, right? With Admiral Piet. So since he's going to be the commander of this ship, I'm actually fine with relicking him up. R8, it is a big ask, but still, what can you do? So this is pretty much my plan for the following weeks. So completing those requirements for Executor to be able to participate into this event as soon as possible. And guys, just believe me, you don't really want to miss on a new fleet meta, because you will be like miserable with those daily climbs. If we get to know that Executor cannot be really like countered by the Negotiator or Malevolence, and I think it's a high chance that this is going to be the case. So that would be it for now. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm planning to release much more videos in the next days, so please visit my channel often, and yeah, hit the like, give me the subscribe, and hope to see you again. Cheers guys, bye.